Yellow Productions presents Answers to Your Questions. I'm Chris.
I'm Topher.
And today we'll be answering the questions that y'all posted on our 10,000 subscriber celebration. In this video, we'll be answering questions like, why is Topher called Topher? Why is Yellow Productions called Yellow Productions? Do we do this full time? And what are some of our favorite travel destinations? And even more questions. So, here we go. Without further ado, the first question comes from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. And Very Unofficial Travel Guides asks, of the places you featured, is there any place where you think, I never want to go there again? And that's a really hard question to answer because I don't really like to offend countries, nationalities, things like that. But there's one that I can think of in particular, and it is Naples, Italy. And people be like, Chris, what's so wrong with Naples? And it's not that I don't want to go back to Naples in general, but I don't want to go back to Naples when they are having a trash pickup strike. Actually, I have a video about this when I visited, and the entire city was covered with garbage. It was fantastic. I labeled the video, Naples, the City of Trash. I've only received a few death threats, so probably not something I want to repeat again, but that'd be a place I'd be happy to go back once they solve the trash strike, but I don't enjoy a city that smells like a stinking pile of trash. Okay. Thank you, Morgan, for that question from Very Unofficial Travel Guides. Question number 2 comes from user JazzThis, and JazzThis asks a couple questions. The first question is, since I've visited quite a few high-profile venues and areas, have I spotted any celebrities? And the answer is yes. Actually, we were in Madrid, Spain, and the hotel that we were staying at was apparently the site where all of the high-profile football players were staying. So football, for those of you in the rest of the country, soccer, for those of you in the US, it was Real Madrid against Barcelona. We didn't recognize them, but all of the paparazzi were there, and they recognized them too. There was also one other time when we were in Las Vegas, and we saw Celine Dion shopping inside the Louis Vuitton store, and they actually closed off all of Louis Vuitton just for her to do her private shopping. That must be nice. Also, every year I go to San Diego Comic-Con. There's a bunch of videos last weekend from Comic-Con. I always see a bunch of celebrities there. That's always fun. The second part of JazzThis's question is, on the flip side, has anybody recognized me in public? And actually, it has happened a couple times. The most notable time is when I was shooting a video on the deer in Nara, Japan, which you can kind of click over here on this video to watch that one. Links in the description below. I was shooting that video and I was feeding some of these deer, and someone came up and said, hey, do you make YouTube videos? And of course, I was wearing my signature Yellow Productions t-shirt. I was not wearing my signature Yellow Productions t-shirt because, and if you're wondering, there's somebody behind the camera who told me that's not what I was wearing. I wasn't wearing this because I was actually wearing a kimono because we rented kimonos to feed these deer. And so this guy said, hey, I'm Joey from the Philippines, and I've seen your videos on Singapore, and I think I've seen your videos from Japan. So Joey, if you're out there, hi. There's also been a time when I posted a video in Osaka, from being in Osaka, and somebody commented on it and said, hey, I thought that was you a week ago, which was when, in fact, I was there. So it has happened. If any of you see me out in public, please stop and say hi. Okay, thank you, JazzThis, for that question. Next question is from Rowie A. Rowie A asks, which questions in the world are on your bucket list to visit? And so I think I'm going to say Australia. Actually, Australia is a place that I had intended to propose to OC Girl when I did that, but she says it's too hot, so I don't know when we're going to get there. Maybe we will in the future. There's more questions later about where our favorite places to go, where do we want to go, and so I'll answer more of that as we get to future questions. So Rowie A, thank you for that question. Next question comes from Captain Goto. Who was holding the camera? So who was holding the camera? That can be a question about who was holding the camera in the 10,000 subscriber celebration video, and in that case that was my better half, OC Girl. She has a blog, and she also has a Facebook page. If you read Chinese, you'll find it fantastic. If you don't read Chinese, well, she's got a lot of pretty pictures from our trips as well. You can find links to her Facebook page and blog in the description below. But really, who holds the camera? It's really a family affair. So many times it is OC Girl, but sometimes it's my mom, sometimes it's my dad. If I'm doing a collaboration video and I don't have any family members with me, then sometimes it's the person who I'm collaborating with, or it might even be the person who I'm on a business trip with. Really, whoever I can get to hold the camera and point it in this direction. And if I can't, then sometimes it's me holding it too, like this. So, thank you, Captain Gateau, for that question. Next question from DC. Do you travel blog for a living? Actually, DC has a few questions, so we'll take them one at a time. First one, do you travel video blog for a living? The answer is no. I do have a full-time job, and this is a part-time hobby. I just kind of enjoy making videos. I enjoy all your comments. I enjoy sharing these things with you guys, and so I would say I do this for fun. There's a little bit of YouTube, Google AdSense revenue that does come along with it. That might be enough to buy me a new camera once a year, but nothing really that I could actually eat more than a couple of meals off of. Okay, next question is, what is the favorite country you have visited? You could probably guess this from where the majority of my videos come from, but I would say that country is Japan. And I enjoy going to Japan because it seems the most foreign. And that's going to sound interesting because it's like, well, every country that's not your own country is foreign, right? But growing up in the US, going to Europe is, I mean, it's the US that's old, it's got history, but it still has that, I guess, Western feel. But Japan is a place that you can go to, and really there's a lot of different things in Japan. And so I enjoy exploring that. Also, Japan's great because it's safe. There's virtually no crime in Japan, at least no petty crime, so you don't have to worry about anything getting stolen. And the food that you go everywhere is really excellent. So if you haven't been to Japan, I would highly encourage you to go there. The next question is, where did you come up with the channel name Yellow Productions? This question I'm actually going to table from this video and put it into a second video because that's a rather long story. It's a good question. If you'd like to see the answer to that question, you can click up in the link over here for the longer video about where did my name Yellow Productions come from. And the final question from DC is, who films all your videos? And so that was a similar question from before, so that would be OC Girl, my family, me, or whoever I'm collaborating with. Alright, so thank you very much for those questions. Next question comes from Papa Franku, and the question is, how many United States have you visited, or at least driven through? And I had to take a little time and figure that out. I used one of these little interactive maps that you could click on the states, and the answer is, I have been to 35 U.S. states. So that means I've been 15 that I have not been to. Okay, next question is from Scottman895 Travel. Scottman895 Travel asks a couple of questions. The first one is, what gave you the inspiration to start traveling to all of the different exciting places that you visit? So I would say actually before I was working, so when I was in school in my life, I didn't really go much of anywhere. I think, I grew up in sunny Southern California, and sunny Southern California is the kind of place where everybody wants to come here. The beaches are beautiful, the scenery is beautiful. I felt I was on vacation every day, so I never really went much of anywhere other than Las Vegas and Mexico, and the Czech Republic, because my heritage is Czech. But once I started working, my job for business travel took me to a lot of different destinations. I also got a girlfriend at the time who is OC Girl, who's now my better half, and she enjoys travel. She did foreign exchange school in Japan. We took a few trips to Japan, really opened my eyes to travel. Now I think I've definitely caught the traveling bug. I enjoy seeing the world, and I think it really makes you appreciate the things that your country has, the people that your country has, makes you appreciate things you have, and makes you appreciate the things you don't have too. There's someone that I've heard talk about having a world view once you travel, or being able to see the world through that world lens. I think it's really cool, really awesome. I would encourage all of you, most of you probably enjoy travel, which is why you watch this channel. If there are those of you out there who are like, I wish I could travel, you can. I know you can. Do it. Go and see places. Okay, so the second question from Scottman895 Travel is, Which places have you not visited before you would like to visit in the future? So this is a little bit more of the bucket list question. I divided this one into two lists. There's some places I want to visit, and there's some places that OC Girl wants to visit. So the places I want to visit are Australia, Thailand, and the Matterhorn in Switzerland. We're avid Disney fans. We have annual passes to Disneyland in California. They have the Matterhorn ride, and I thought it would just be really cool to see the actual Matterhorn that's a mountain and see if it has a roller coaster in it and a Yeti, and I'm not sure. Hopefully the lines are shorter when we go there in Switzerland. OC Girl wants to go to Peru, Russia, India, and Korea. Now the challenge here is, you notice those two lists, they are different countries. And so our challenge when we figure out where to go is picking who wins, or what's our mutual country, or what's a country that's not on either of those lists but there's a really good deal to travel to. That influences our travel quite a bit as well. Actually, one of the places I'll be going in October is to Singapore for a couple days, 2 days to be exact, because the airfare was $500 round trip from Los Angeles, so I think that's really great for a weekend trip to Singapore. Okay, so thank you, Scott Manini of 895 Travel, for that question. Next question is from Rob Vera. Rob Vera has a couple of questions. The first question, I'm not sure if this is a question or an observation, but Rob Vera asks, why did it take so long to get to 10,000 subscribers? And I noticed that your view counts for each video are a bit low. Well, Rob, thanks for pointing that out. And I mean, I think it probably took a long time because you are clearly not sharing my videos with enough of your friends. Like, if you could help me out a little more, actually all of you, if you could help me out a little more, I think I would get some view counts. I agree, they are low. I'd love to see more. I also do this in my spare time though, and so I'm just happy that actually any of you watch this. The second question that Rob Vera asks is, how about making longer, more informative videos like Migrationology? So for those of you who don't know, Migrationology is a travel channel by Mark Wiens. He is a full-time travel videographer and blogger. He has about 400,000 subscribers, and that's all he does. He does this for a living. I don't, and so my videos are never going to be as plentiful, frequent, or often as Mark, but the note about making longer videos, well, this one right here is a good start to it, because I feel like I've been talking quite a bit, and I need to drink. I'll take that into account and try to make a few of them longer and more informative. Speaking of informative, I'll start now. In case you're wondering, this is a cup from the Orange County Fair, and I am drinking orange juice. See, information coming right at you. Okay, thanks Rob for those questions. Next question from V Dan. V Dan asks, what video editor program do you use, and do you recommend any free editor programs? I use two primary ones. Actually, my number one primary one is called Sony Vegas. I like it because it's fairly easy and quick to edit videos on. Unfortunately, Sony has stopped making it. I think you can still buy the final release, but there won't be any new updates on Sony Vegas. I also use Final Cut Pro when I'm traveling and I want to edit on the road on my MacBook. I have Final Cut Pro and I do some edits there. I've tried Adobe Premiere. I find it entirely complicated, and I just haven't taken the learning curve to, I think, dive into that one. Do I recommend any free editor programs? The only one that I've really used is iMovie on the Mac. It comes with the Mac, and so it's there. I've done kind of some little cheap, cheesy edits on it, and I think that's okay. Of course, I don't have any other recommendations for free editor programs for you. But thank you, V. Don. Next one, question from Matt Skin. The question is, do you live in California or Japan now? Always California, never Japan. Grew up here in sunny Southern California. The only other place that I've lived for any long period of time was in the Washington, D.C. area, but I do much prefer the beaches of Southern California to the Potomac River in Washington, D.C. It is also too hot and humid, and apparently I always seem to figure out a way in Washington, D.C. to be there when there's like the snowstorm that like closes down the entire city. I've been there for the last two of them. And one of those was when I was living there. So, next question is from Curly Pubes. Great name, by the way. Great name. So, the question is, how do you manage to travel so much? And Curly Pubes says, they are jealous. So, actually, I'm going to say it's not really that much. I mean, it may seem like I travel a lot because I publish a new video every Sunday, but a lot of these videos that I publish on Sundays, they're videos that I've collected from trips weeks and months past. We typically do about 2 big trips a year and maybe 4 weekend trips throughout the year. I've also got business travel that takes me to a few places. I typically go on a business trip about every 1 or 2 months. The business trips I don't usually get a lot of video from because I'm busy with business. You know, when I go on a week-long trip to Japan, I can easily have 20 videos that come out of that trip. So, you know, I may be there for 1 week, but you may see 20 weeks of travel videos. So that's how it seems like. I think maybe I travel more than I do. The second question, well, I'm going to add this as a second answer to the single question, which is money. Because people always ask that, like, well, how can you afford to travel this much? And actually, I'm kind of a big miles and points guy, so you know, airline miles, hotel points. There's a lot of really good deals for credit card signups, and you can get these credit card bonuses. A lot of the airfare that we book is on airline miles. A lot of the hotels are on hotel points. And actually, Japan as a place to go, I find the hotels to actually be pretty inexpensive for the levels of hotels you can get in Japan. So that's how I manage to travel as much as I do. Thank you, Curly Pubes. Next question from Yippee. Question 1. Actually, Yippee has 4 questions. So question 1 from Yippee is yellow. Why yellow? Yippee, I'm going to point you to my longer answer, which is the other video that I'm going to do, or did. The link will be up here. And actually, I'm going to post that one in a week, so if the link's not active right now, come back in a week and you'll find that one. Second question, what's up with Topher? Topher, by the way, you spelled Topher wrong. You spelled Topher with 2 F's. Topher spelled with a P-H. And what's up with Topher is my brother. Okay, so back off, alright? Topher's my brother as a panda. And it's Topher, T-O-P-H-E-R, because those are the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters in my name, which is Christopher. So I'm Chris, this is Topher, and together we make Christopher. In case you're wondering where Topher comes from, he comes from the San Diego Zoo, and he's also a really great traveling companion because he's petite-sized. So, over here, you may have been wondering, what are all these wonderful animals doing in my video? And these are some of our other traveling companions that we've featured in Yellow Productions Travel Guides. We have quite a family of stuffed animals. And if some of you ask in this video, what other ones do you have, then you might see those in another video. But these are the ones that have been featured in other Yellow Productions videos. This guy right here, his name is Ushi, which rhymes with sushi. He comes from Japan. He's traveled with us on a number of trips to Japan. He doesn't come from Japan. Where does he come from? I was corrected. He comes from somewhere in Europe, but he has a Japanese name, Ushi, which rhymes with sushi, and he likes to travel to Japan. Here we have our 2 Winnie the Poohs. These are Winnie the Poohs from Tokyo Disney, which are much cuter than the Winnie the Pooh stuffed animals you could buy at US Disneyland hotels. Here we have Winifred, and here we have Freddie. Here, this very extra large penguin, he was featured in my Samsung Gear 360 video, which was a review of my 360-degree camera. He is Pingy the Penguin. He comes from Costco, here in Southern California. Alright, so those are our traveling companions, and that's what's up with Topher. What's up? Okay. The next question from Yippee1 was, what part of the country do you live in? See my previous answer, I live in sunny Southern California. And next question from Yippee is, how do you get to travel so often? Do you have a flexible job? And I will say, see my previous answer, I don't think I travel all that much, a fair bit. I enjoy it. My job is a bit flexible on when I go, which is pretty nice as well. So, that brings us to the end of this question and answer video. There is that final answer about where did Yellow Productions come from. That video will come out next week. I'll put the link in the description below, or you can click on this video up here in a week's time to watch it. If you have any other questions that I didn't answer in here, please leave them down in the comments of this video and I will answer them in another question and answer session. So, if you have watched this video all the way to this end, then I thank you very much, because you are definitely one of Yellow Productions' diehard fans. You're the ones that make this channel possible. You're the ones that increase those view counts. And if you want to help me get to 50,000 a little quicker, then share it with your friends, and then more people can watch, and then I can make more videos, because I'll be so excited, and more than 5 people will watch them. So that's cool. All right, so over and out from Chris, Topher, Ushi, Winifred, Freddy, and Pingy. Bye bye.